Hey guys, problem number two. This really has two main ideas to it. Do you understand what a negative exponent means, and can you add fractions? If you can do those two things, you can do this problem. So the very first thing is, what does x to the negative first power mean? A negative exponent does not mean multiply by negative. It means reciprocal. So 3 to the negative second power is not negative 9. 3 to the negative second power is 1/9. So in this problem, right off the bat, what we end up with is this. So again, I'm going to try to write this in the way they have it written. It takes a little bit of time inside of an equation editor. But this is just 1 over x plus 1 over y, and the whole thing still raised to the negative first power. So the first thing I've done is I've converted that as x to the negative first and y to the negative first to 1 over x and 1 over y. So now I'm adding fractions. I'm literally doing like 4th or 5th grade addition of fractions. It's just I have variables in here. I have things I don't know, but I still have to get a common denominator. So in order to do that, in order to get that common denominator, what I'm going to do is I need the denominators to match. Now, I talked about this with a couple of the other classes just the other day. I need this bottom. It's missing something. Well, what it's missing is a y. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by y over y. And I'm going to multiply this fraction by x over x. And now what I have is y on top, xy on bottom, x on top, and xy on bottom. Now you'll notice I flipped this one. I didn't write it as yx. I didn't write either one of them as yx. I wrote them as xy. There really is no difference. You can write them as yx. This is etiquette. This is how people who do math and know what they're doing write things. Very, very few people who do math very often will write those as xy. Now, I can combine them as one fraction because I'm adding fractions. Well, when you add fractions, the denominator stays the same. So I know I'm going to be adding those two fractions together. I know I'm going to get one fraction, and I know the bottom is going to be xy. Now the top is going to be y plus x, but again, just because of etiquette and how we write things, we tend to like to have them as mathematicians, and it's kind of weird because we don't really love English, but we tend to like to have them in alphabetical order. Now I think that's more just so that we have a consistency thing than anything else. So if you wrote y over x, that would be perfectly fine. There's nothing, y plus x, that would be perfectly fine. It's just not the way that most mathematicians are going to write it. Now, we have one step left. And all that step is recognizing that we have a negative 1 exponent. And the negative 1 exponent, right back to here, just means reciprocal. So we have our fraction, and we simply flip it over. We're done. That's our answer. X times y over x plus y. Always ask questions if you have them.